welcome to our podcast. I'm Jess.
I'm Mandy.
And we are drama bonded. And it has been a minute.
We're back, baby.
Yeah, we're going to talk about season 3 of The Traitors, which I guess is going to maybe be, we're going to have some differing opinions on this one.
Which is fine.
Yeah,
that happens.
I love it. But how have things been?
I guess we should share with our audience why we had to take a hiatus for a while. Unfortunately, in August, I was diagnosed with stage 4 metastatic colorectal cancer. And that has been, needless to say, a huge transition in my life. But all I can really say is I'm so grateful that I live in Salt Lake and I have access to Huntsman Cancer Institute. All of the doctors and nurses and people who have helped me there have been amazing. And my body is responding well to the treatment plan.
Yay.
Yeah, that's like very it's news that I'm still trying to process just because I'm still in the thick of like chemo. And I have a consultation with a couple surgeons next week. So my journey / fight with this cancer is not over, but luckily I've fought to maintain a really steady sense of normalcy, at least as much as I have been able to.
Sure.
I'm still running and lifting weights and doing the things and getting my dog outside, but life looks a lot different now. But thankfully, now that I've gotten some good news and things seem to be on the up and up, I've missed podcasting with Jess so much, and we've missed podcasting for you guys. So I don't know. We're gonna try to do this 3rd season of Traitors, and then we're also gonna start Grant's season of The Bachelor, which is at the end of January, and we'll just keep you guys in the loop. If we have to take a break because of surgery or whatnot, please just know that it's not a break I want to take, but I have to take. And we're just going to roll with the punches and see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm pumped to be back.
Yeah. When you said the podcast intro, I got a little emotional.
Oh, I know. I'm like, whoa, I don't even know if I remember what I say, but man.
I know, that's how to start it.
Yeah. Well, one thing we did a good job on this time is we have not forgotten to do the candy review already. So let's do our candy review.
Hell yeah.
Candy reviews with Mandy and Jess.
So, no, I was going to say, Mandy dropped off this bag of Peeler's gummy bananas to me like a little while ago, but I was in the thick of it dealing with some stuff with the dog. And so I didn't get around to eating them until recently. And holy shit, this candy is phenomenal. And now I'm going to be buying it on repeat so that I can eat it while I'm working out.
This candy is kind of blowing my brain. Like, there's so many things to say about it. So I got just the banana ones. And when she said they were really good, I bought myself a bag of the grape ones. And I was like, holy shit, you have to try the grape.
And the grape is so good. I almost accidentally bought mango yesterday, and I slightly regret not grabbing the mango because I think that's the 3 flavors of grape, banana, and mango.
Yeah, I haven't tried the mango.
Which props, because I feel like those 3 flavors get ignored a lot in the candy world. As
That's
you know,
true.
with like your grape airheads disappearing, and yeah, like the banana Laffy Taffy is always the least amount of, like, that's the one that has the least amount of them in a bag. So, and mango, what candy is flavored mango?
Yeah, it's not your basic bitch strawberry, orange,
Cherry,
green apple, watermelon.
Yeah, we've actually got like some decent flavors.
Okay, so when I first ate these, I will admit I didn't quite understand how they were peelable because I was just kind of eating them because they were delicious.
Yeah.
And then I was scrutinizing this candy once I slowed down a little bit, and I was like, okay, how the hell is this peelable? And it's like a gummy inside of a gummy shell. It's like 2 different gummy textures enveloping each other. Is that how you would describe it?
Yeah, and it's so funny that that was also your experience because, like, I definitely ate, like, half the bag, and then between sets, I was sitting there staring at it, and I'm like, Why is it called peelers?" And then I saw it literally says on there, "Peelable." So, then you peel it. It's still kind of a weird thing because, like, I can't get the banana to peel fully, but also the inner banana is so sticky that I just, like, don't want to. But I guess
Yeah,
it's interactive, like, bonus points. You can play with your food.
I mostly just like to eat it and feel the separation of the gummy in my mouth.
Yes.
Originally, I only saw the banana ones, and the peeling the banana makes sense to me because you peel a banana. And
Totally.
then for the other flavors, I was like, that makes less sense, but I'm sure they're all equally delicious.
Yeah. The grape was really, really good. I enjoyed that. I think I'm gonna be floating between the 2 bags for sure.
Do you have a preference between the two?
Honestly, and this is a hot take for me, I actually don't. I think both the grape and the banana are equally good. It just kinda depends, like, the banana swings a little bit more savory, just because, like, I mean, savory as savory candy can get, and the grape is, like, a little more refreshingly sweet. So, they both sort of have their place, and I have been thoroughly enjoying both.
Okay, well, I need to try the banana and the mango. I think they have a very similar flavor profile to high chews.
Yes, but, like, texturally, way less taxing on your jaw,
Totally.
which can be a problem if you're me and just can, like, pound candy like it's air. I can then eat a lot of them, but also my mouth just appreciates the texture a lot more than I do high chews.
10 out of 10. Get some
Yeah.
peeler.
And I found them at, Kroger, Smith's, which is nice because, like, you don't even have to go to you don't have to go to a really fancy grocery store to get them.
Yeah, check them out.
Okay, The Traitors,
All right,
which
here we are. We're doing it.
we are watching mostly because Gabby Wendy and also, I mean, I guess we have to admit it, like, a little bit of curiosity with Tom Sandoval, or are we just
Oh,
here fully for Gabby?
oh no, there's definitely curiosity there. And I also was looking forward to seeing Wells from Paradise slash Bachelorette. Uh and there's honestly this whole cast is pretty loaded. I also was looking forward to seeing Sierra from Summer House, even though she's been hardly in the show so far.
Um, I
Anyone
know
else
you're
for you?
not to episode 4, but she definitely gets her arc in season or not in season 4, in episode 4, so
Oh,
it's
okay. I know.
coming.
And we were both looking forward to seeing more of Danielle Reyes from Big Brother.
Um, yes, loving her. I'm a little miffed. Like, I do not like Boston Rob or Tony. Tony, I'll never forgive for winning season 40 of Survivor. Like, that just was not the pandemic moment for me that I needed. Um, I hate those Survivor dudes, so they're kind of annoying to me, but I mean, they're still big names, so I think it adds to the show whether I like it or not.
Yeah, is there anyone else that you were excited about?
Um, no, I think mostly, honestly, just to see Gabby show up for me, is pretty fun because she's clearly she's got such a shtick that I really appreciate where I think they call themselves the Bambis, and she just has this, like, doe-eyed, kinda ditzy, kinda dumb, but she's, like, anything but dumb,
Oh yeah.
and I love it. So,
I wish she was like not so adamantly thinking that Bob the drag queen was a faithful, but that's my only hesitation on Gabby's performance so far is like don't be so easily convinced.
I know! You're gonna have to help me a little bit. Was it episode No, nope, it's episode 4, so I'm not gonna with the coffins, have you gotten there yet?
Yeah, that's episode 4, so don't go
Cool,
there.
okay, not gonna go there. What are your overall impressions so far?
Okay, so I tried watching the first season of Traitors. I think I watched 2 episodes, and I will admit that I quit because I thought the show was pretty cheesy. There's a couple people from Bravo I was really interested in watching in the first season, and I just couldn't get into it. But since then, now we are on our 3rd season, and so many people have started loving this show. I feel like it's gotten a lot of hype. I feel like it's kind of put Peacock on the map.
Mhm.
And I think it's a smart thing to get all of these like reality TV personalities, pop culture personalities. Even, you know, they have a random British royalty guy show up.
Ivor,
So
yeah.
I think it's a very smart show in the fact that it's attracting a lot of different types of audiences. And I in college played Murder in the Dark, Werewolf. Those are both like lesser versions of I don't know if you guys have played the game called Secret Hitler. It's a board game, but it's all of those games have the same goal where it's like somebody's a murderer or a werewolf or you know,
Hitler.
and nobody knows who is who, and it's a game based on like lying and deceit and convincing people that you are what you are or aren't what you aren't, and seeing who ends up winning in the end. And so like I've played a lot of those games, so that type of strategy is like super interesting to me. So I do like that part of it. I just think that the show for me is just feeling a little bit on the cheesy, and like there's a lot of filler content that doesn't seem to add to that strategy.
I feel exactly the opposite. I think the cheesiness and the over the top adds to like the murder mystery of it all. And I think it probably helps them as players really get into the game of what they're trying to do. And I feel really like pulled in and like ready to go. I made Saul watch it with me last night. We do date night on Friday nights. And like normally we try and agree on like a show or a movie that we both enjoy. And I was kind of like, we got to finish this. Sorry, I can't stop watching. So
What I'll think.
he really likes it a lot more than I think he expected to. We had a lot of fun pausing and discussing strategy, and I think a lot of missteps, particularly like Wells being really focused on,
Wasn't it one of the housewives?
yeah, like saying that
Robin?
because Robin was so excited or like thinking that eliminating the housewife was a smart move, she must be responsible for it. And it's like, Wells, but you're forgetting another argument that's just as plausible, which is Robin is a housewife. So, of course, she would think the housewives are a force to be reckoned with. And getting the housewives out is smart because she thinks she's a good player of the game, too, and that the housewives would be good at it. Like, it doesn't automatically mean that Robin's a traitor. And Wells jumping to that conclusion, I was just like, damn, dude, that's not smart. You're being dumb right now.
Or the argument is like, oh, of course a housewife wouldn't kill a housewife. Do you know what I mean? That's
Mhm.
also another argument.
Yeah, or maybe they wouldn't. That is a good way to throw it off. But like, it's just they're so quick to come to conclusions, but maybe don't throw stuff out there. Like that was a huge mistake on Wells' part, and clearly because the guy went home. Like they got him out for that.
It's so hard in the beginning of the game when you have nothing to go off of. And so I do think that I am open to liking the show more as it goes along, because I think the players will start reading each other better. They'll start noticing things more. They'll be having these little alliances and things will develop out of those. And so I do think the beginning of the show is kind of like, it's tricky because they're basically forced to move forward and kill people off the show without really having time to develop much strategy at all.
Yeah, and getting to know each other, I think, is what that filler is for, and it sort of is like to me showing the way that they're all interacting and like I don't know, clocking each other, figuring out how people tick and the way that it works. And so I kind of like the time in the car between going to the challenge, coming home from the challenge. I think all of that really works for me, and at no point have I felt bored or disinterested by what I'm watching. So, and I love the premise of it. I can't believe I have to wait until next week for another
Here's
episode.
my hot take I told you that I
Oh yeah, yeah,
had.
yeah. That we were gonna wait to talk about.
I think the show would be better if it was more like Big Brother.
In
I
what
think
way?
there should be cameras all over in the house. Like, I think there should be more downtime where people are just kind of like mingling in the house and talking to each other. And so that's like one of my uh critiques is I wish that we were just seeing more raw conversations and kind of just a fly on the wall and more of these little interactions. Like, I agree. I love the time in the car. I feel like that's where we're getting some of the best content as far as like who people are feeling out, what people are assessing, who's suspecting who. And so
Mhm.
I just want more of that.
I get that. I was, like, pretty aware that this was a very edited show. Um, it's always a stretch to call reality TV reality TV. Um, but I also wonder if they're keeping everybody I don't know the structure behind the scenes, if everybody's staying pretty separated because they can't out who the traitors are, and so maybe I'll like, I don't know. Maybe there is more for us to see, but maybe there's not. I don't know. There probably is. I mean, Jesus, like we're getting an hour and they're spending however many, like 2 weeks
Yeah.
together. So,
But just think well, I mean, it's hard because I don't think you could have cameras in the bedroom since they're each in their own bedroom. But if you could have like live feeds like Big Brother does and be getting more of the content offline.
well, I think the problem is like you are getting 12 or no, the shows there's way more than 12 people. All these high profile people. I don't think everybody has time. Like Big Brother is such a big production and it takes the time that it takes, and I don't know. Yeah, I hear you, but I don't yeah. It would be a totally different show.
If Yeah, I don't know, it just feels that's my critique, is I want more raw footage.
That's fair.
Feels a little overly produced to me. But that being said, let's get into it.
Okay. So, we start off with, like and this mirrors Big Brother in a way too, right? Like, you have the option to introduce a new player into the game, like, right
Mhm.
off of the bat, and they know who it is. This time, it's somebody, like, a big name in all of these shows. And if I've learned anything, man, you just gotta accept the new player into the game or you're gonna get fucked.
I mean, I wasn't surprised that no one stepped up, but yeah, agreed. Like,
Well, especially because they
gonna
put
come
the
back
caveat in
gonna come
Big
back and bite
Brother.
you in the ass.
Yeah. In Big Brother, it was you just said yes or no, but in this one, you had to eliminate somebody. So,
I'm not surprised nobody stepped forward.
yeah, that's stirring the pot, like, right out of the gate, but
Putting a target on your back.
mhm. But, yeah, I was kind of bummed that nobody did, but I assumed that Rob would end up in the game anyway. There's no way they fly Boston Rob all the way to Scotland to not put him in the game. So,
Yeah, same.
um, what do you think of the challenges?
I like the variety so far.
So in
I was
episode 1, they did the rowing of this large boat, which is pretty funny. Everybody struggles to understand the mechanics of rowing.
I was so frustrated in that challenge with
Oh,
how
yeah.
misogynist and sexist the men were being. I guess don't get me wrong, like, it's not a terrible idea if people are actively not being able to contribute and you need to get a boat from here to there to have the weaker players get off. That being said, though, like, it shouldn't be like, "Oh, yeah, obviously the women need to get off first because otherwise we're not gonna complete this challenge," because that's also bullshit.
Right, it's not like
And
you've got a
they
boat full
weren't
of athletes where there is a clear division, but, like, I don't know. I actually would push back and say that men and women have different capabilities. Like, it just I don't know. The women Tom was complaining about his fucking forearms.
Yeah, that's true. Uh, I thought it was interesting they didn't go for the 4th, box.
Yes.
What did you think about their argument for that one?
I think they were such a mess and that they couldn't agree who was gonna get off the boat, and I don't know. I get it because they already had half the money, but then they also did kick everybody off. Yeah. Why not just go for it? But,
I would have gone for it, I think.
well, it was especially crappy for them to get all those people off the boat, like all, 8 of them instead of the full 10 because they didn't go all the way. And then they get home, eat all the dinner while the other 8 are like making their way back. And they
Yeah,
didn't get all the
that was
money. I
cheap.
would be pissed actually. So yeah, if I were somebody that got off.
Oh, 1,000%. I love Dorinda's one-liner of, "I'm starting to feel housewifey."
That was
I was
so
like,
good.
"Oh, shit. It's about to get real up in here."
Ah! I agree. That actually like made me want to watch The Housewives. I was like, oh, maybe I'm missing something here.
Okay, I haven't watched. I watched the beginning of Real Housewives of New York, and I stopped like 5 or 6 seasons in. But Dorinda is a Bravo icon. Like she is such good television. She is going to start shit. She's a great person. She has a great personality, and the fact that she got killed off to me is really disappointing because she's like Gabby Windy. Like she would have had so many good one-liners and moments on the show. And so having her be the first to go was a really big bummer in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that. I was sad for that. I didn't realize too. I was so surprised. I mean, because you and I, this is our first time through. I mean, it makes sense when you're murdered, you're murdered. But
Yep.
like,
See,
it's so anticlimactic. Like, it's just, oh, they're just gone. Bye.
yeah. Hi.
The end.
Dead friend.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a kind of a bummer. But and who was the other housewife that then got eliminated?
Ion.
Yeah, also a bummer.
What did you think about the double housewife selection?
I mean, I think the housewives just got a little bit of a raw deal in that you had a Survivor player, a Big Brother player, and Bob the drag queen that ended up being the traitors. Like it just there was no good representation for the housewives.
That's fair. I thought that killing a second housewife was a little messy, in my opinion. I know that that was Bob's goal. I think Bob was the one that was pushing for it, and it's just like chaos. But I feel like that almost makes it more obvious that one of the housewives is not a traitor.
Yeah, like I get it, the whole like throw off the scent kind of thing. And it could be like maybe that would be a good move if it were in fact a housewife, but it's not.
Right.
So, yeah, I agree. The strategy just wasn't there for me. What do you think of the traitors? So we've got Danielle Reyes, Bob the drag queen, um, Carolyn, whose name I
And Boston
and Boston Rob. So actually
Carolyn
two Survivor players, which is annoying. I don't know. That feels too stacked to me.
Carolyn is she's a little cringy for me to watch, to be honest. Her like her mannerisms, and I think someone described her
Yes.
as twitchy. Twitchy is a really good word to describe. I don't know. She's hard for me to watch, and I also don't think that she's necessarily thinking as a team player. I think she's thinking what's best for her. Um, so I do think it's interesting how we're starting to see the traders disagree more and more, and kind of they're approaching every decision not as a united front.
Yeah, Carolyn has been driving me just up a wall. Like, girl, if you're not here for a selection, fine, but you can't just say no. Like, give a reason, make your argument, throw another name out there, explain why. And maybe she is, and we're not seeing it. I have to admit that, like, the editing, who knows? It is so highly edited and produced. But what we see of her, and her just rolling her eyes, like, stop rolling your eyes. I don't know. Like, this is not useful. So,
Yeah, I think let's talk about some of the I guess mistakes the traders have made so far. I think Danielle's kind of blowing it here and there, and it's getting me really concerned because I think she's such a strategic, smart player that I've been wanting to shake my television a couple times and be like, "No, like, what are you doing?"
I know. Well, even Bob kind of, and I know we're jumping around in episodes, but like taking the lead on some of the like roundtable conversations, it's like, whoa, no, sit back. Like,
Yeah.
don't overact this. Don't overstate your position. I don't know. Like, I agree. It's just they are not playing it cool.
Well, like Danielle sitting down for breakfast and being like, if Brittany were to get killed off, that would obviously make it look like it was my decision, even though I wouldn't do that. Like her kind of just putting things out there that,
Unnecessarily.
yeah, unnecessarily. Like she didn't have to say that at all. And it's almost like she's so nervous that she's trying to keep the scent away from her that she's actually putting it right on top of her. And
Right.
Dylan is a smart guy, and he's the one that's calling. No, wait, it wasn't Dylan. It was Jeremy. Jeremy is like, Danielle's acting weird. I know her well enough to know that she's just like not being herself. Like homegirl needs to get it cleaner.
Dylan's also smart. He's on to Bob. Like, you know,
Oh, yeah, that's what it was. Dylan was on to Bob.
Dylan kills me. I don't know why Dylan's here. What has Dylan done other than be Zac Efron's brother?
So I guess he maybe was. I don't know what down to earth means, but I know Zac Efron did a travel show on Netflix. Is that what that is?
Yeah,
I
I
wonder if he
guess.
was on the travel show with Zac Efron. I will say that he is very cute, and
Oh,
for
yeah.
not being a game player, he is immediately playing this game very smart.
Yeah, although with the exception of, and I think it's Wes that says it, as you play the game of not me, rather than be pointing fingers, you have to be like, and I thought that was really good advice, and yeah, but I actually just
I
have to admit, I thought Dylan's Chiron was just down to earth because he wasn't a reality
I'll
TV
just say
star.
that really quick because
Um,
uh,
yeah, but he's smart, and the mistakes.
it
Carolyn, at
is
least. Oh, sorry. Go
it
ahead.
is from the Netflix show, the travel show that Zac Efron was on.
Okay. A little bit of okay. I mean, he's really good to look at, so I'm not complaining that he's on my television, and he's at least participating in a way that is adding to the show, so we'll take it.
We did see him kind of smarten up at the end of the roundtable on episode 3. Like, afterwards when Bob and him are talking and he's like, "Oh, yeah, you're convincing me right now you're faithful." And then in his interview, he's like, "Oh, yeah, I totally still think it's him, but I'm just gonna let it, like, lie low for a while."
Right, like, he realized you can't go hard after people because that does, in fact, put a target on your back. It is this delicate dance of, like, you wanna throw shade somebody's way, but you have to do it in a way that doesn't, like, garner you a lot of suspicion.
Totally.
But yeah, Bob and Danielle. Carolyn, at least in that sense, always being twitchy is working for her.
No, it tot I don't think anyone's suspecting her at all. She's just hard for me to watch, and I don't think that she's showing up to these, traitor meetings with much strategy, and I also don't think she's, like, really helping them that much. She's kind of
No,
just a mess.
totally. She's just like, she's that road bump. She's just like slowing down the process without really adding. I mean, that's even probably giving her too much credit. At least those things like slow people down in neighborhoods and kind of thing. But like, she's just, yeah, girl, give a suggestion. Because I don't even know, who does Carolyn really want out? Like, who is she?
I don't think she's really gone for anyone.
Yeah.
Who has she recommended? I'm trying to think. There was a moment.
Oh, she
Did she
wanted Brittany out, but then that was not gonna work for Danielle Reyes. And like,
Oh, duh.
yeah. Also, yeah, that's not a good suggestion. So Tom just irritates me. Everything Tom does, I just want Tom to shut up and sit down. But he whatever. He honestly, and I think you had said this when we were sitting talking the other day, like, weirdly, he's not even that annoying in this setting, but he's still kind of annoying. Who else?
My gosh, Alan Cummings asking Tom if he would feel betrayed if he didn't make him a traitor, and Tom being like, "Yeah." He said, "Well, now you know how that feels," or
I
I don't
know, I loved that.
I love that little moment. It was just so, so good.
So good. People have definitely taken their time. I mean, how can we even forget that Gabby was like, "Is that Tom? I'm not gonna say hi to him." Yes. Be petty.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Oh, but back to the challenges really
Oh, yeah,
quick.
yeah, yeah.
I wasn't surprised all 3 of the guys made it into the show.
Well, that was weird. So they were gonna make it no matter what. It was just a matter of if they were going to have a shield to give to anybody.
No, if they didn't get them down in time, I don't think they were entering the show. You know
Um,
how they're
I'm
lowering
pretty
the
sure that they were all going to be in the show. It was, if they got them down in that time, they would also have a shield. If they did not get them down, there wouldn't be a shield, which was to incentivize everybody to get them down in that time period. So all the shields went out to bros, which makes me mad. Like, this game is definitely the guys doing things for the guys. Didn't love that.
Yeah. I I don't know. It's hard because it's, like, not that surprising, but
I know.
also hard to watch. Okay, on the funny house challenge.
Oh my gosh, that was I don't have issues with clowns. Do you?
No, I don't have issues with clowns. But my whole thing, and I know it's easier for us to say as people who are watching it at home on our couch to criticize these people's decisions. But why wouldn't you go in and say, okay, from left to right, we're just going to number the doors 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going in door 3.
Okay, Saul also like he made me pause to be like, why wouldn't you say left, center, left, whatever? Yeah, I don't think they were allowed to. I have to wonder if the rules of the game required them to only describe the doors as they were. But that should have
Alan
been stated out
mentioned
loud.
that.
I don't know. I just can't believe that all of them are that dumb.
I kind of feel like they were that dumb. I was like, why are we numbering the doors, people? Like, we don't have to go by the diamond design.
I just don't know if that wouldn't have been as challenging. Like, it did require a lot more teamwork to describe similarly painted doors. But that is definitely a flaw of the show to not expand because I feel like, yeah, they should have just done that if it wasn't explicitly stated you couldn't.
Yeah. Because then otherwise we're sitting here like, why the hell wouldn't you do that?
Yeah, it does sort of it I don't know. The difference of suspending belief is, I guess, yeah. I agree. And nobody made it through.
Which was really sad.
Yeah. Um,
Oh,
it was really funny though that for the first 4 doors, 4 teams failed.
I know. That's when I knew. I was like, I don't know if they're getting through.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
that increased their odds so much.
Oh, yeah, that was a real shit show. I'm glad they at least got them all umbrellas. Them just standing there in the rain, what felt like for probably a long time too.
What are your feelings on the roundtable discussions? That's when it's legitimately like a game of Secret Hitler.
Oh, yeah, having to sit there and keep it together. I love it. I think it's very fun, and I'm glad that at the end there's the circle of truth, so you have to go in and say whether or not you're a traitor or a faithful.
Oh, yeah.
That's so fun. Um, I I don't know. I think it's great. Like, I like it when people are willing to discuss openly how they feel about things. I think sometimes my frustration with Big Brother as a game is it can move so slow because it takes so long for information to sort of make it where it needs to go. So the forced coming together really works for me in that way. Like I appreciate them sort of having to like put their feet to the fire and that it's not an anonymous vote.
Yes, I also appreciate it's not an anonymous vote because I think that gives away a lot of the individual strategies.
Mhm. And it like you have to be really careful. You can't if you have very clear vendettas, that's going to be really obvious.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate that that sort of transparency takes away some of the more vindictive gameplay that occasionally people engage in.
I did think that Bob the Drag Queen, I think he overreacted to Dylan calling him out. I don't think very many other people were necessarily suspecting him. And I think his reaction made him look more guilty.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Bob and Danielle are just not playing it cool. So,
I mean, I love Bob.
oh,
He's
me
fabulous.
too.
But I'm like, come on, my dude. You need to chill out. When you react all angry and defensive, that's just painting a bigger target on your back.
Yeah, you need to right, like, if you have to think about what you would say and do if you weren't actually a traitor, and a lot of the time, it's easy to I mean, obviously, like, if the stakes are really high, but, like, in a game, it's probably a lot easier to just be like, "No, not me.
Yep.
Here's why."
Yeah, I don't know why you think it's me, but here's why it's not.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm worried for Bob, I'm worried for Danielle. Carolyn, I don't even know. Who do you want? Do you want one of the traitors to win, or do you want a faithful to come through?
I'm rooting for the faithful.
Are you?
Just because I haven't been sold on the team of traitors. I think that they're playing a little messy for me.
For sure. I have questions, and this is probably stupid, so I'm sorry if, like, our listeners already understand the function of the game. Maybe I should have done my research a little more, but, like, what if all the traitors get out? Like, what if they sniff them out?
I don't know. I haven't watched a show either.
So then just nobody gets murdered. Everybody just what? How does that go? Do the faithfuls get to just split the pot of money? So that's my question. And I know I can answer it for myself. Are you looking it up?
Yes.
Thank you. This is kind of a good setup. Typically, Mandy would come over and we would record, but we're not doing that just for the interest of like saving Mans the commuting time. So, which is also nice because we have access to our computers. We can fact check ourselves.
It sounds like if one traitor goes, they are given the option to recruit. They
Oh,
they will refill the traitors. It's imperative that they have enough content to fill however many episodes there are.
got it. Okay. That makes sense because they had, I think, in episode 4, there, like, without giving anything away, there was discussion of recruitment, but I didn't understand like the context because it just didn't make sense to me. So, okay.
That's what this Reddit thread is telling me.
Reddit's probably a good source for this. So, okay. Well, that's fun. Hmm. Recruitment could change how we feel about the traders then too.
That's true.
But yeah, for now, I just want Gabby to win it.
Oh, I love her.
Me
Same.
too.
I also am really liking Bob H.
I know. Bob Age. I don't know how did I actually fundamentally really hate the show The Biggest Loser. I think it's a really mean show, but you know, Bob seems like a really lovely human being, and I'm glad that he's on this show.
Same. I'm trying to think if anyone else who else are you rooting for?
I do really like Bob the drag queen. I love Gabby, clearly. Chriselle's making me laugh just because she's calling Tom out on just being Tom. Always here for that. Bob H is really great. I don't know. I am even surprised by me saying this, but I kind of am here for Dylan.
I mean, I'm here for Dylan.
Yeah, we should look up if he's single.
Can I slide into his DMs?
Mm-hmm.
Like, tall, tatted, and fit.
Yeah. And like not so hot that he's like, well, I mean, he could be really full of himself and a total piece of shit, but like he's
Doesn't
not
seem
so hot that he has the right to be.
Yeah, he kind of has like an innocent baby face, but then he has like a badass bod. I don't know. It's a great combination.
I agree. When I first saw him, I'll be honest, and this is mean, and I don't like these are just like snap judgments, but I was like, he's not as attractive. But then the more that I watch him, I'm like, honestly, he's probably in my book better looking than Zac Efron.
Well,
Especially
definitely.
what?
Post surgery, definitely.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on to Zac Efron, and I don't. He looks so bizarre to me now, but at any
Before
point of
surgery,
Zac
I
Efron.
don't know. I mean, because like I was a High School Musical fan, and so I have had some crushes on Zac Efron. So pre-surgery, I don't know, but post-surgery, definitely more attractive.
Yeah. Dude, this is a total aside, but did you see the photos of him when he was filming the wrestling show Iron Claw?
Holy cow!
Dude, those abs are 100% brought on by steroids and like I don't even know what. The huge belly with abs on top, but man, that guy, he bulked up. He did it.
He did it for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, who are you rooting for? Who's calling to you?
Again, I right now I'm rooting for the faithfuls, Gabby, Wendy, Bob H. I also am liking Nikki, the former professional wrestler.
Oh yeah, she's fun too.
And out of the traitors, I mean, I don't want Bob the drag queen to go just because he's such great television, but I have a feeling that he's playing a little messy, so I feel like his days might be numbered. I think Boston Rob so far is playing the cleanest game out of the 4 of them.
Yeah.
Not saying that I'm rooting for him, but I'm saying so far I think he's doing the best. Yeah.
Okay. I'm very excited. I'm relieved too because I thought that we were going to have to do 3 episodes at a time, but now unfortunately they're only giving us 1 episode a week. So we've got we're gonna plan on an every other week schedule. So we'll still have 2 episodes to review, but it won't be like 6 episodes.
Should we discuss the most recent Bachelor tea?
Oh, yeah. Let's do it.
Matt James and Rachel Kirkconnell?
Broke up.
Man, that's kind of a bummer. They were together for a long time.
They were. And this is completely hearsay. So by no means is this an official record. According to Us Weekly's insider, I don't know, probably Rachel's sister-in-law. She's currently on social media basically saying that as soon as the breakup happened, Matt was like instantaneously posting about it. And it seems like he blindsided Rachel with
Oh,
the
really?
breakup. But
Something
then
else.
also the source said that I think that's what the source said, was that she was blindsided by it. But also, I think another thing said that she was just tired of waiting around for him.
I
So
heard that one.
people, I'm sure PR camps are working hard,
I just think anyone having to go through a breakup in a public space is so heinous, I can't imagine it.
right?
Like, I felt like my breakup rocked my fucking world and made me feel like I was living in the upside down. Um, and I can't imagine having to navigate those emotions and that transition under, like, public scrutiny.
Well, especially because like every Bachelor fan on Reddit is like, she stepped out without a ring on. Did you notice that he hasn't been in the last 2 photos? And everything is just like under the microscope. And so even if you wanted to take time to like process, people are going to sniff it out immediately anyway.
Yep. Well, I like both of them as individuals, so I hope that they are both okay,
Well, they're
and
both beautiful people. They're both very young. I
I'll
think she's only 28.
oh, okay.
So odds are in her favor. Maybe
Do you
we'll
have
see her on Paradise. Have they even filmed it yet?
mm, that's a good question. I don't know. I don't know because I don't know where they're gonna film it. They're not doing it in Mexico anymore. Um, Traditionally, I think it would be Bachelor, and then they would start filming Paradise right after Bachelor.
No, because don't they go Bachelor, Bachelorette, but Bachelorette doesn't come out. And like the guys from the Bachelorette end up in Paradise, but everybody in Paradise doesn't know them because the show hasn't aired yet.
I don't remember.
Yeah. Well, and the schedule's all weird. I feel like it's not been.
But thank God we're getting Paradise this year.
Oh
I
my
felt
gosh.
robbed.
Yes.
I hope they do something funky. I hope they mix it up a little bit.
We need
Maybe
it
they'll take it apart.
gamified.
Yeah, like, we want to see some challenges, we wanna see people winning dates and roses. We wanna mix it up.
Yeah, like, come on. It doesn't have to copy the Love Island formula, but Love Island formula of kind of like forcing people through, I think makes it a lot more entertaining. And then you don't wind up with these stupid fuck boys who just all show up to like vacation together for a few weeks and then have
Nah,
no intention of staying with these women. Like, weed them out.
get out of here.
Yeah. Bye. Um, is there any other Bachelor tea that's come up?
No, but we do have, the women on Grant's season, so
Oh,
next episode, we can go through that as well.
that'll be fun. Do we wanna do our most likely?
Yeah,
Okay, I'm excited, and then we'll do our typical, like, teams of top 4.
yeah. You've creamed me every time.
I think only in The Bachelorette. I'm less good at reading the women.
Okay, we'll see.
I I'm excited. Hopefully, they're nice to Grant. Please don't fuck it up.
Grant seems like a sweetheart, and um I heard on his interview on the Vile Files that he was an anime kid, and that immediately told me everything I needed to know. I was like, he was a nerdy kid, and it's so cute that he likes rapping and playing music, and I don't know, I feel like he just has a big heart, so crossing all my fingers and toes that the franchise doesn't royally fuck him over like they have tended to do in the past. But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for this lead.
Yeah. Wait, was he the one who was playing the piano?
Yes.
Okay. That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
That's energy we need. Kind of
Yeah.
goofy, not like too into himself.
But also an attractive athlete.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm here for it.
He makes so much more sense than like, say, Clayton's casting. So,
Oh, 1000%.
yeah, hopefully we're just done with Clayton forever. And I don't know. Yeah. Nothing but lots of TV coming our way because I think we also have the Valley, yeah?
So excited. So excited for the mess that the Valley is about to deliver to us.
Yeah, we did find out in a really sad way, which is to say, like, nothing really official that Vanderpump Rules, that was in fact its last season.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we should talk about that really quick. So, Vanderpump Rules is revamping the entire cast. So, basically, the show is starting over. I you know what? Here's the thing, and I know I said that on the podcast, but I'm gonna say it again. I do think the last season of Vanderpump Rules should have been the last season, especially with, like, the montage and the fact that it was pretty obvious that most of the people weren't friends anymore in real life. Everything felt really overly produced, but in my heart of hearts, because this is my favorite reality TV show ever, I just wanted it to ceremoniously end in, like, I wanted to know. I wanted to go into the season knowing it was the last season, and I wanted it to be treated with, like, some sort of reverence or respect, and I just feel like it was like, "Who knows what's gonna happen?" And then it was, months later, it's like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna vamp the whole cast."
And as somebody who was a Sandoval bandwagoner, I do feel like the ending with Ariana walking out and Lala breaking the fourth wall felt like a really good ending to me. And that was, I mean, and that's without the emotional investment in a lot of these people and just sort of like casually watching the show. That did feel like a really good ending. So I do understand why they ended it there, but I also totally respect that, like, as a huge fan, that's a real letdown.
I mean, the montage at the end made me cry. It did feel like the producers were hinting that it was the end.
Right, there was gonna be some tough negotiations, ahead, and it didn't seem likely they were gonna get a lot of agreement.
Yeah, it was obvious the cast didn't enjoy working together anymore.
Well, I think that was abundantly clear in the reunion between, was it season 10 and season 11, that, like, Ariana was not even, like, talking to Katie, like, it just there didn't seem to be a lot of communication outside of, like, the filming itself.
Yeah.
So,
And that's where the magic of Vanderpump Rules was the fact that it was a show formed around an existing group of friends that were living with each other, dating each other, working with each other. And so everything felt believable and organic because it was their real lives. And the cast just they started getting successful. They started have focusing on different businesses and their relationships weren't sustainable. And so therefore the show can't be as good.
yeah. Well, we'll have to see. I don't know. I don't know if I've got time to pick up yet another show, the new iteration of Vanderpump Rules, but
Well, we're definitely gonna watch. We'll decide if we're gonna podcast it, but I'm definitely curious to see what happens. That being said, if anyone's looking for a good season of something, I watched the first season of Southern Hospitality and I thought it was fine. I only watched half of the second season, thought it was meh, didn't finish it. That being said, the third season, it has started with a bang and I have enjoyed it. So if you want something that feels kind of similar to the essence of the beginning of Vanderpump Rules, I recommend trying the third season of Southern Hospitality.
there you go. That sounds really fun. I can't pick up a ton of new TV because I'm in a doctoral program, and I swear I just spend all my free time trying to understand what it is I'm supposed to be learning. So,
Way to do hard things.
thanks. Yeah. So the break has also been good for me to like kind of figure out what that balance looks like. So I needed it too. And I'm also very excited. As you have said, I need nonsense in my life, and so do you. So
frivolous content, to
Yeah.
distract us from the challenges we're both navigating.
Yeah. Mine is definitely a choice, but for sure I'm excited, and hopefully Traitors picks up for you and Bachelor will pick up for both of us. It's going to be good.
If you listen to this episode, thanks for jumping back on. We love and appreciate you, and we hope you're here next time.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Drama Bonded is produced and hosted by Jessica Brumbaugh and Mandy Booth. Graphic designer is Pigeon House. Special thanks to everybody who has downloaded and listened to us. We are so, so grateful for your support. Thank you.